to an episode of Thoughts of an Average Joe podcast. It is TOAJ Jackson, man, your favorite average Joe. How's everybody doing? I'm sorry for not dropping an episode last week. Started working my 2 jobs on my birthday. My birthday was this past Monday, and I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't had no discipline. I should have did it Monday or Tuesday, and I didn't do it. So I'm here now. So you'll be getting 2 episodes this week. I don't plan on this being a very long episode because your boy's tired. But yeah. We're doing another episode of the Discipline Over Desire series. The first episode we had talked about discipline. Hold on, I'll get you the exact title. We had talked about the foundation why men need discipline. The second episode we talked about the power of strategic selfishness. And today we're going to talk about the cost of chaos, life without discipline. I don't know why, like when I do this, I feel like a pastor, like I'm preaching to y'all on a Sunday. Like I'm saying, like like I'm recapping a series and like, hey, let's get to it. But yeah, before we get started, man, I'm officially 36. I need 36 to be the best year financially of my life and more discipline. Especially when me living by myself. It's a huge going to be a huge a huge sticking and proving point for me. This is something that a few people are against me doing, but it's something that I feel like I need to do. So I can figure out my life as an adult, right? So this episode is about what happens when men live life without either chaos, burnout, and wasted potential, right? So what does chaos look like, right? So chaos looks like constantly reacting instead of planning, no routines, unpredictable energy, no momentum. Especially as we get older as adults, right? Like I'm big on structure. Like I said, there's been times where I've had jobs and it didn't have structure, and it was hard for me to really succeed because I need structure. And that goes for, my personal life too. Like I need structure. Instead of always try to, free will things and just do things, but when I want to do them, and when I do that, it don't work out well. Like even now, I started working at 2 jobs. I've already outlined on what days I need to pay what, who I need to pay people back, and when I'm going to pay them back, and how I'm gonna save for my TV, my bed set, my mattress, my security deposit, first month's rent. Like I need that written down because otherwise I'm not gonna have any structure. And if I don't have structure, I'm gonna be just working 2 jobs for nothing because it won't be. I probably won't have the money to have to move, and then I'll be up shit's creek. So structure is very important in my life, and I feel like for most people, especially men, we're creatures of habit. You know what I'm saying? We need a routine. Like my homeboy Juice right now, right? Juice. He has somewhat of a routine. Like he while I'm still at work overnight, this nigga is up. Okay? He's up. And he goes to the gym faithfully, like, I would say like 2, 3 in the morning. He has built a routine. That's another thing I gotta do. I ain't been to the gym in like 2 weeks. Yeah, I need to figure that out. I may go today. Like it's just the only time I get to record now is really on the weekends and on Thursday nights. And on Thursday nights I'd be tired, so I don't really be wanting to record. So yeah. But most men, they need a routine. And most men chase short-term pleasure over long-term rewards, right? Like I said, in my past, there's been a few times to where I called out because I wanted some pussy. And, not recently, but, way back, like, yeah. And it was just like, I'm chasing a very, very short term reward and affecting my long term growth at a particular job because I'm calling out for something that could have waited for when I got home. But I was thinking with my dick instead of thinking with, logic. And I had to learn to stop doing that because that ain't good for nobody. Um, Living life with chaos is being pulled in 10 directions by other people's priority. And you're feeling busy but going nowhere, right? Especially the being pulled in 10 different directions by other people's priorities. I agree with that and I get that 1,000%. Like, I get that 1,000%. Because as men, right, we're always taught to, be providers and be protectors. And, um, as men, we got to learn how to say no. Because if not, like, we will be basically everyone's crutch. And then it's like, oh, I need this, I need that. Can you do this? Can you do that? Oh, and then, some women are good to manipulate you and be like, oh, you said you was going to do that. So y'all dependent on you and you're a man of your word and X, Y, and Z. And then it's like, okay, now you're no longer living for you. You're living for other people. You're not making sure that you're straight. You're making sure other people are straight before you're straight. And I think part of discipline is you always have to make sure you're straight before you make sure other people are straight, because other people are always going to make sure that they're good before you're good. Prime example. Last year, right? I left my job, and I was struggling a little bit to pay my bills. So I'm thinking like, okay, the people that I've helped over the years, I should be able to get some assistance from them because over the years I've helped them consistently, and when I needed help, they ain't have it. Oh, I ain't got it. I'm sorry, X, Y, and Z, bam, bam, bam. And that's what that taught me a valuable lesson right there. It was like, okay, so like I gotta really start looking out for myself because other people are gonna look out for them. As opposed to, like I have a big heart. So at times I'd be like, oh, they tell me a story and I don't want to see you fail. Or I don't want to see you struggle. Hey, fuck all that. Unless like I'm real close with you and you have my back, yeah, fuck all that. I'm willing to watch you struggle because you were willing to watch me struggle and then give a damn about how I felt and what I was going through. Um, let's talk about the real cost of being undisciplined. Because when you're undisciplined, the consequences hit hard. When you're undisciplined, you fuck around and have a kid with somebody you're supposed to have a kid with. Now you stuck with somebody for life. I know they say 18 years, but nah, nigga, listen to me and listen to me good. I'm a lean in because I can't zoom in, right? If you fuck a girl or fuck somebody and get them pregnant and you know you don't want to be with them, that's not 18 years, my nigga. Listen to me and listen to me closely. That is life. You're bound to that person for life because you'll have a kid together. Yeah, child support stops in 18 years, but y'all don't stop fucking co-parenting or being parents. Like, I'm saying, like, that's life. Remember that. That is life. Um Financial instability from impulsive spending. When you don't have discipline, you make, impulsive decisions. That's one of the reasons why, like, I've never liked getting paid every week from one job. It's different if I work two jobs and I get paid bi-weekly and it just happen to fall on different opposite weeks. But when I have a job and I get paid every single week, I never like that because it's like, oh yeah, I can fuck this check off, so I'm gonna get another one back. Like, I would have much rather wait every 2 weeks. I feel like when get paid every 2 weeks and I'd be like, all right, damn, I got rent coming up, so I got to make this $150 stretch. I'm much better at doing that than, oh shit, I could use this money, blow this check, so I'm gonna get another check next week. Like, it's undisciplined, and it's got to stop. Especially with me, when it comes to work, I would be undisciplined at times and not go to work, and sometimes that hurt my development. A few times that hurt my development at one job. I wasn't fast enough. This was like right after I broke up with my ex. Right after I broke up with Britt, I wasn't fast enough at the job. And I feel like part of the reason I wasn't fast enough at the jobs because I ain't go. I wasn't there to get the reps. So I eventually end up resigning before I got fired because I was on a PIP. And I was only 3 months into the job. Not even 3 months. No. When I left, I was about 4 months into the job. Yeah. But I felt like if I would have went to the job, then maybe, just maybe, and not call out just for whatever reason, I would have been able to keep the job. And I did like that job. I'd have been able to keep the job because I would have been disciplined enough to go to work. Yeah. So when you're not disciplined, you make financial impulsive decisions. You're not able to save. When you're not disciplined, you have stalled careers. There's no follow through, no reliability, because you can't move up in a company and people can't rely on you. Like that's one thing I had to learn too. Like sometimes, right, as men, we do our best work under pressure, and that's cool, and I get that. But why wait to that point of getting under pressure to where like, oh, you can't, you want a final for a write up, and now you can't be late for like 6 months, and it's like, why put yourself through that if you ain't have to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm guilty of that because sometimes I just be calling out to call out, and as like as I start to get older, I realize like, damn, do I really want to go to work today? No. But do I need this money? Yes. Do I want to create a habit of being disciplined for myself? Yes. I'm not saying it's you always have to go to work, because sometimes you need a mental health day. You don't want to go to work, cool. But the moment you make it happen not going into work, then you're not reliable. If you're not reliable, you may be better at your job than the next person, but because you're not reliable, you're not disciplined, you'll get overlooked for promotions to create more money to create the life that you want. Missed opportunities because you wasn't prepared, right? You wasn't prepared. In life, right? I'm a strong believer of there's sometimes God won't give you what you want because you're not prepared for that opportunity, right? There are certain opportunities that you have to have that you're not prepared, that he will give to you. He'll let you get a taste of it and take it away because you're not prepared, but now you have something to strive towards. For example, there's a job that I got hired for recently, right? It was a job at a financial institution, like call center or something like that. Got paid good money, good benefits. I got the job, but then they ended up rescinding the offer because my credit wasn't good, right? It wasn't up to their standards, I guess. And I was, for a long time, I was struggling, like, damn, why, like, why did he give me this job to take it away? And it was to show that these are the opportunities that you can have, but I need you to start preparing for them so the next time they come around, when it's your season, you don't miss it. That's the way I took it. Health decline, poor diet, no exercise, sleep issues. For a long time I was like, I'm skinny. I don't need exercise. I was out of shape. I ain't gonna hold you. I was a 135, 5'5", skinny ass nigga out of shape. So I started going to the gym, getting in more shape. Now, were there times that I wanted to shoot? There were times I wanted to beat Tyler's ass in the gym. Hell yes, because he pushing when I felt like he was pushing me a little too hard. Yeah, but I understood why he did it. And even now, like, we haven't gone to the gym in maybe like a month or some change, and I'm having a hard time, especially with the two jobs, creating and keeping the gym discipline. Mainly because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So, I started to, take videos when me and Ty would go work out. So I have a base of something to go off of. And even then, like, I just feel like having a gym partner is better for me because I'm not going to leave because they're there. I only left one time. If I'm there, I may do like a 20. I don't see myself. I don't think I have enough discipline to be in the gym for an hour by myself. I haven't got that far in life yet. And then being undisciplined, right? Is broken trust from others. You're late, inconsistent, unreliable. The emotional toll of life of undisciplined. It's constant stress, it's anxiety, it's frustration, because in life, right, everybody who got to where they needed to be and made something of themselves at some point had to learn discipline. I feel like discipline is a skill. Like, you know how they say winning is a skill, being disciplined is a skill. And at some point, like, you got to learn how to just lock in and be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. You got to have tunnel vision. Yes. The emotional toll, right, of life without chaos. You have the constant stress, the anxiety, the frustration. Um, you have the constant burnout and emotional crashes. That happens from time to time when you're not disciplined. You have these emotional crash outs, these burnouts, because you don't have a set structure or set schedule for yourself to deal with the structure and to deal with how you're going to navigate life, how you're going to maneuver life, and all of that. Um, Feeling resentful when others move ahead because you may think that, hey, I'm better than them, but they honestly have a better work ethic. They have more discipline. Sometimes hard work beats talent. You could be talented, but if you don't have the hard work if you don't have the discipline to put the talent in there, then what are you doing in life? Like, honestly, for real, what are you doing if you don't have the talent, right? Um, Comparison and low self worth and lack of identity or sense of purpose. Um, what did they say? Comparison is a thief of joy. And I feel like when people compare themselves to other people instead of just following their journey and living in their truth, that's when I feel like a lot of things happen, because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses when you don't got to keep up with the Joneses. Like, everybody has their own race. Everybody needs to run their own race, their own style, right? But if you are constantly always trying to keep up with other people and trying to keep up with the Joneses, and that's also another form of being undisciplined. Just because other people have it don't mean that you have to have it, right? It's not your season for you to have it yet. So you got to continue to be disciplined in what you need to do and not live your life in chaos, so that way you can have those things when it's time for you to have those things. Um so we got like two more segments and we're done, y'all, I promise. The identity crisis. I'm going to show you how undisciplined men lose themselves. Um, because they're being overly unselfish and living for everyone else. Like I said, um, that used to be me. I would, like I said, always help other people. But when I need help, there's nobody around to help me. It's all, I just paid this, I just paid that. I'm broke. Why are you asking me? Well, then why are you asking me to help you if you can't? If when I really need you, you can't help me. Like, what are we doing? Why are you in my life? Right now, I become everybody's safety blanket, but I have no. There's no safety blanket for who's. I'm my own safety blanket. I don't have nobody I could turn to when I really need help to be like, hey, I need help with X, Y, and Z, because I'm always other people's safety blanket as opposed to me just focusing on myself. I ain't gonna lie, I wasted a lot of money on bitches, just in general, like women. Like, I ain't saying all that, you know what I'm saying, because some of them deserve the, for me to help the way I helped them because they helped me. But I spent a lot of money on a lot of ungrateful bitches that just think that because they got a fat ass or they look good or they got good head, I'm just supposed to help them. When you put yourself in that predicament, I put myself in that predicament, but yet you expect me to follow through and help you. Like, I'm no longer nobody's Captain Save a Hoe. Like, that's not. I didn't have any boundaries. I was becoming who people needed instead of who I was. Once again, I was becoming who people needed instead of who I was. Right. Um. Yeah, I was becoming who people needed instead of who I was. Hold on. I would just be like, hey, people needed me, and I would be there. Right. I would be there to help, but that necessarily wasn't who I was. I was trying to please people. I was trying to buy people's attention or buy if I like the girl, buy their affection or whatever. And that's not me. That I can tell you right, that definitely ain't me. For sure ain't me. Um, and when you have that identity crisis, you have the danger of being replaceable in work and in relationships. I didn't have any boundaries, so there was no room for me to grow because I'd never set boundaries with myself or with other people. And when you don't do that, you live your life in chaos and you're not disciplined because everybody's pulling you in 10, 15 different directions. I need this. He needs that. She needs that. And if they're coming to you and you basically working just to make sure that they straight. Let's talk about how to break out the cycle, right? Start small. One daily win. Small shit. Bed made, journal, workout, cut distractions and simplify. What I mean cut distractions is sometimes you gotta cut bait. If you feel like that person ain't good for you, then you know what I'm saying? And all they do is take and they don't give. You gotta let them go. Like, hey, listen, it's not working out. We had a good time, but you no longer fit in the plans that I want to do. And because you no longer fit in the plans that I need or what I'm trying to accomplish in life, then I have to let you go. Because if I don't let you go, I will never get to where I need to be. You will be stepping on my back to elevate yourself while I'm still down here because nobody's here to help me. Because I'm too busy helping you to help myself. Create structure with a daily routine. Even that's, you get up in the morning and maybe the first thing you do is you pray. You create a routine. You get up in the morning, first thing you do is brush your teeth. Or you get up in the morning, the first thing you do is read the newspaper. Or the first thing you do is get up in the morning, first thing, and you maybe just sit for like 10 minutes in silence and meditate or, read a book. Create a routine. When you create a routine, that creates discipline. When you create discipline, you will cut the chaos out of your life. Use accountability partners and mentors. Like I said, Juice is my accountability partner. He holds my feet to the fire all the time. He like, hey bro, you don't need to be doing that. This is what you set a goal. It's what you need to do. So I expect you to get that shit done. Don't let nobody distract you until you get that shit done, and then you start a new goal. He was like, it's time for you to be selfish and be more disciplined because you can't go or do anything that you want to do in life if you're not disciplined. And focus on consistency over perfection, right? Focus on consistency over perfection. If you focus on the consistency, because nobody's going to be perfect, right? If you focus on the consistency, that's going to build the routine, the habit, the discipline, and then over time, you'll start to perfect things. But if you're just so focused on being perfect, you'll never get to where you want to be in life for real, because nobody's perfect. The only person that's perfect is Big Sandals, and that's it. And we ain't Big Sandals, right? So let's wrap this up. Chaos kills potential and discipline saves it. Once again, chaos kills potential and discipline saves it. If you look at like I said, all the athletes, they got to be disciplined. They don't have a lot of chaos around them. If you look at athletes that do have chaos around them, they don't last that long. And for people that say that they thrive in chaos, eventually get burnt out because nobody wants to thrive in chaos. You have to be disciplined in order to weather the storm, right? So I want y'all to answer this to my listeners. Where in life are you drifting, and what is it costing you? Once again, where in your life are you drifting, and what is it costing you? Last episode of the series is Building the Blueprint, Becoming a Disciplined Man. That's going to be dropping. If this drops, I'm hoping this drops on a Monday, so then I could drop that on a Wednesday, but we will see for sure. Sorry for taking so long. I don't know what's been going on with my camera, y'all. Like, it's been acting real weird, so that's part of the reason why I didn't record, because I have to redo it over and all that other shit. Like, it's a lot. I ain't going to hold you. And sometimes it's annoying as hell, but I'm going to try to be more consistent, building the discipline, right? So y'all know where to find me, man. Average TPC, that's the podcast Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube, The Average Show Media LLC. share my clips on TikTok and all that other stuff. Love y'all, appreciate y'all, man. And I'm gonna end with this: if you can't control yourself, you'll be controlled by everything else. That's essentially the gist of this episode. Once again, if you can't control yourself, you'll be controlled by everything else. All right, love y'all, appreciate y'all, man. It's your favorite average Joe signing off. I'll see y'all next week. Peace. Or next episode. Peace.